Hey guys, it's Akatsuki Akuma, aka the Horror Nerd, back at you again with the final episode of Black Mirror Season 5 review and discussion. Now, I didn't think that Black Mirror would only be 3 episodes this season, but apparently it is. And unlike my first two reviews, this one won't be very long. I know I said the last one wasn't going to be long, and then it turned out being almost 20 minutes. This one will be super quick. So this stars Miley Cyrus. I think it's one of the more popular, more heavily promoted Black Mirror episodes of this season. Everybody's been seeing the commercials mostly for this because Miley Cyrus is the biggest star this season, other than Anthony Mackie. So basically, what happens in this episode is actually what it's like. It's basically the premise of Hannah Montana. If you've ever seen Hannah Montana, I wasn't a fan of the show, but just growing up, my sister watched it all the time, so I inherently watched it too. And it's starring Miley Cyrus, and she's a child pop star. And you know how child pop stars and child movie stars in general, they get thrown into the limelight. They don't get a say in what they want to do or what they want to say. They don't get to express themselves really. It's really the parents or the parental figures or the corporate kind of pushing them out there and having them do all this stuff to generate money. Whatever, anything they do is to generate money. Don't matter if they're happy or sad or whatever. That's an afterthought. And basically in this episode, Miley Cyrus plays a version of her Hannah Montana self. She plays a pop star called Ashley 2. Oh no, she's called Ashley O. So she's playing Ashley O in the show, and Ashley O is basically Hannah Montana, but this is like a darker version. So there's there's the superstar you see in the TVs and the videos and the concerts. And then when she gets home, she's miserable. She's writing songs that are angry, being trapped in cages. And so she's expressing herself, but her aunt, who you go to find out, it's her aunt. Her parents died, and her aunt is the one looking after her and keeping her career on track. But it's actually her aunt that's been hindering her this whole time and keeping her caged and, you know, not caring about what she wants. She's been forced to do this. She wants to sing other things, but eventually what happens is Ashley O eventually gets tired of just being controlled by everybody. So she starts stockpiling her meds, which is used to like sedate her and keep her tame. But she ends up stockpiling the meds, and she wants to almost commit suicide, OD. And her aunt finds out about this. She cuts that off, and she actually drugs her food that she's been eating like for years, and sends her into a chemical, I think they call it a chemical coma. And what happens is while she's in this chemical coma, they can take out information and take out her consciousness and write these songs, and basically they can turn her thoughts into songs, so they can still produce music while she's unconscious, and they won't have to deal with the backlash of her having to, you know, possibly rebel against them. So it worked out for them. Now let me backtrack just a little bit. Now, in the beginning of the episode, Ashley O introduced this doll. It's almost like a there's like we had those dolls in the 90s where it was like a robot that would talk to you, but this robot is basically Ashley O's consciousness to a certain extent in this doll, and she can interact with her fans at home on a personal level. She can interpret things, what's going on in their life, and kind of learn from that. And with this doll, while the real Ashley O is in the coma, the one of the super fans of Ashley O, who is this episode follows Ashley O's fan and her sister. They have a troubled past. Their mom passed away, and ever since then they've been they've been very distant with each other. And so Ashley O's superfan wanted the doll, Ashley 2, and she got the doll. And eventually, what ends up happening is the real Ashley O goes into that chemical coma that I talked about, and then Ashley 2, the doll that they have, it ends up malfunctioning. It sees what happened to the real Ashley O, and then it just malfunctions. It spazzes out, and the two sisters they kind of get into the brain, the CPU of the doll, and find out what's going on. They find this little blip and they click it, and then it basically unleashes the real Ashley O's consciousness. So basically, what happened, I know it's kind of complicated. They copied Ashley O's conscious, like not conscious, but her, basically a copy of her brain into this doll. But the doll had been functioning only at like 4% or something like that. But when they clicked that blip, it kind of basically turned it into Ashley O, which is very weird, but that was a pretty cool concept. I don't know if they can do that in real life, but then again, like I always say in these Black Mirror episodes, all of this stuff is possible. It may seem impossible, but it is possible. So Ashley 2, the doll, she ends up seeing this stuff, like I said, on the TV, what happened to the real Ashley O, and she knows exactly what's going on. She knows the aunt poisoned her, and she wants to get revenge, basically. So they end, all three of them, the two sisters and the doll, end up going to the house, to Ashley O's house, infiltrating the house, getting past the guards, knocking them out, actually, and freeing Ashley O. They took her off the life support. Well, yeah, it was like sort of life support that was keeping her in that subconscious type of mind state. And so they free her, and then they break her out of the house, and then they end up taking her to the stadium where her aunt is basically trying to replace her and get everybody on board with this virtual version of Ashley O, because she doesn't have the real Ashley O there. She wants to kill her, actually, but she wants to keep her funds coming in. So all four of them, Ashley 2, Ashley O, the sisters, they all make it to the stadium, and they confront the aunt. What happens between them after that point, we don't really see, but I guess it's open to interpretation, but I guess the aunt ends up going to jail, and then at the end of the episode, you see Ashley O and the sister. Oh man, I'm sorry, I can't remember their name. I know the name of the episode is Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, but I don't think one of the sisters' name is Jack, so I'm just gonna call them the two sisters. The one sister who was she basically turned emo. She's always playing her guitar and stuff because that's what her mom liked. She ends up performing like duets with Ashley O, the real Ashley O, and Ashley O has turned into a not a darker version of herself, but maybe like a punk version of herself, and that's what she's actually wanted to do. So you see Ashley O's kind of taking control of her life. She does whatever she wants now. The secret's out, so she's in control of her own life. So she's singing emo stuff. Not emo, it's just punk. I'll just say it's her version of singing with a attitude thrown in there. And the sister who helped her escape and get her life back, she's performing with her. And I mean, we never actually see what happens to the other sister, the blonde 15-year-old. I think that's Rachel. We never see what happened to her. But it's a cool scene at the end. You know, they're having fun, they're doing their thing. Ashley 2, the robot, is got not a blonde streak, but a black streak in her hair to show her punk edginess, and she's making all these facial expressions. It's just really fun to see from a robot, her just rocking out on the side. Oh man, low key, I would kind of want that, but at the same time, that'd be kind of scary just to have that thing in my room, and it's like a person always watching me. It's weird, but it's actually kind of cool. So yeah, that's basically the last episode of Black Mirror season 5. Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, and I guess just how I interpret it, it is a darker version of Hannah Montana. Maybe behind the scenes, that's how she felt, because Miley Cyrus was a child star growing up, and we all watched her on Hannah Montana, and she did have the songs. She did have a music career where she was basically the real life Hannah Montana, but she was doing it on the show. She was doing it in the music industry, and then she was being held back because she had the contractors and people just over her. I don't know about her family, but definitely the big businessmen over her, telling her what to do, what to wear, how to what your content needs to be. She wasn't in control of her life, and we all saw how that ended up once she kind of shed all that. She started doing her own thing. She became very sexualized because that's what she wanted to do. She had all that repressed, and yeah, she went through her phase, and now she's kind of toned down. She's lived her rebellious days, and she's kind of just doing her own thing now. She's more she's more normalized now. So kudos to Miley Cyrus for jumping into this episode and kind of delving a little bit deeper into maybe what she experienced, and kudos to Black Mirror for getting her and kind of throwing that little twist in there with the Ashley 2 doll. It was very creative, and I liked it a lot. So that was it. That was my review. I gave this episode, I gave it a 9 out of 10 because this was really fucking good, man. This felt like a movie that I didn't want to end, but unfortunately it's just an episode, so it's only an hour long, and I just wanted to see it play out a little bit more. I wanted to see, I don't know, a little bit more of a comeback story and kind of wrap things up, but it was a good ending altogether. But I believe that is it. Not a very long season at all for Black Mirror, but the quality of these episodes were top notch, all three of them. And this one was probably I think the first one was probably my favorite. I don't know, it's a tie between this one and the first one. The second one was good, and that was more along the lines of a normal Black Mirror kind of. It didn't have a happy ending at all, I don't believe, or it's open to interpretation. But I gotta say it's a tie between the first episode and this episode. I like both of them, and I will go ahead and get out of here. I don't want to ramble too much. Thank you guys for watching my season 5 Black Mirror 3-episode review. It's very kind of anticlimactic. I wish there was more, but I will, if you guys do like it, I mean, let me know and I can review some other stuff on Netflix. I'm about to watch season 3 of Slasher and review that because so many people actually loved my season 1 and season 2 review that I did earlier, so I'm gonna get on that. And yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Leave a like on the video, leave a dislike if you didn't like it. Both help my algorithms and help my video get seen. Maybe leave a comment down below if you like this season of Black Mirror, or if you didn't like it, or if you like this episode. Did this episode make you laugh? Because it made me laugh a few times, actually. But anyway, guys, I will see you later. This is Akatsuki Akuma, aka the Horror Nerd, out of here. Peace.